What's going on, guys? Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So check it out. Stocks are looking a bit rocky today. Earlier we were up. Now we're down across the board. Sofi was up a little bit earlier. Now we're down just over 2%. So we have to do an update on Sofi, the charts, what I'm looking to do, and we'll break down the indexes, other stocks moving that I'm watching. But first, guys, hit that like button. Do not forget to subscribe and join my free email stock newsletter, and check out my Patreon for my portfolio updates every week. I actually just posted one earlier today. Those links are down below, and now let's dive into it. So currently it's about 1 p.m. when I'm making this video, and Sofi is down just about 2.1% as every index, well, they were in the red. Now they're actually going a little green here. The S&P and QQQ are, but pretty much we're at break even on those, guys. I mean, that's the reality. And the Dow's down about 0.25%, and the Russell's down almost 0.75%. So we're actually down. I mean, across the board here, and stocks are going red, even though, you know, the S&P and the Nasdaq are now flipping green again. The overall trend, at least on the day, let me pull up SPY quickly, is down. You know what I mean? It's down. So we opened up, we popped in the first hour of trading. Things looked, you know, nice and dandy in the first hour of trading, but we've been downhill since. You guys see the intraday chart here on SPY. We hit about 598 this morning, and then we got all the way down to about 591. Now we're at 594.50, and on QQQ, we can see we hit about what this morning at the peak? We hit 530, just over that. Then we got down to about 523.60. Now we're at 526.80. Rebounded a little bit off that low, and now we're slightly green, but still pretty much at break even, and this could easily go red later in the day. So that's kind of what we're looking like right now. And by the way, oil's down 4%. We have the metals up a little bit. Gold's up, silver's up, each around 0.5%, and the VIX is up around 3%. I mean, I'm not surprised the VIX is up considering what happened over the weekend, causing more uncertainty, volatility. It only makes sense. So let me go back to Sofi stock, which again is down now 1.9%. So we are rebounding a little bit on the intraday, but it's been quite volatile. You know, when we got the futures market open last night, Sofi, you can see here, you can see in the overnight market, I guess, was down to 14.50. Then we got to about $15-ish, 15.10 by open. Then we dumped a bit at open, followed by a V-shaped recovery. So we dumped initially to about 14.70. Then we recovered all the way to 15.25. Now we're back to 14.90. We actually retested 14.70 earlier in the day. Now we're rebounding off that. So I guess that is good on the intraday, but we're still down. But the more you pull the layers back, the more you realize, all right, it's actually not looking that bad. And just on Friday, we took out the highs from the last couple of weeks. So this is just a little pullback based on the chart. So you can see it here on the 15-minute, on the 1-hour chart as well. Bulls are still very much in charge. On the 1-hour chart in particular, you can see we're above the 180 SMA, maintaining higher lows, holding this uptrend pretty clearly, right? And we did break under this 15-10 support, which I'm not loving. It's not the end of the world, obviously, but 15.10, 15.15, that was the high from about a week, 2 weeks ago, so that would have been nice to hold as support. But it makes sense. I mean, we got, you know, the news over the weekend, geopolitical tensions are rising, stocks are going down. It makes sense Sofi is going to come down a bit, but what you got to focus on, what I'm focusing on as well, is the fact that the trend is still holding. And if we retake this 15.10, 15.15 level, which I'll set on alert right now, if we're able to, you know, break back out of that point, this could be going a lot higher. So I'm going to set my alert. Mark is that we're above $15.15. And if we come over here to the 4-hour chart, and if I zoom in a little bit, you guys can see, yeah, I mean, it's a wide open gap to about $17. If 17 breaks, 18.50 could be next. You can see, you know, that was the high $17 back in the middle of February. Then, of course, back in the end of January, we hit about $18.50. These are the gaps that keyword is could, be filling in the short term here. But again, let's see if this triangle plays out, right? We take over 15 or 15.20 again. If we're able to get over there, that would be ideal for the Bulls in the short term. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And by the way, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Run that subscription button up. I appreciate you all for tuning in. And I think 50-60% of you guys watch the content, which I appreciate, but you're not subscribed. If that's you, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. And let's continue on here. So a couple other stocks moving. Circle, what else is new? CRCL. Circle Internet Group's up another 9% today. This stock just keeps on going. It's unbelievable. It IPO'd not too long ago, man, at what, $60 a share, whatever the heck it was at. It looks like here the low was $64, and now we're well over 200. We actually almost hit $300 a share earlier in the day today. And I think at this point, guys, not trying to be a Debbie Downer or anything, and it looks like my computer is freezing. Are we back? Are we back? I think we're back. But not trying to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but I think Circle Internet Group could be a little bubbly here, a little frothy. I'm not going to lie. I'm not the biggest fan of these valuations here, but clearly it's a momentum name. It's keeps on going. Doesn't look like it wants to slow down anytime soon. And, yeah, I mean, I was watching it earlier. It was up, it was up a lot, like 20% at the peak today. Then it saw a big drop-off from 300 to about 245, 250. I was watching it. I was like, hey, maybe I should buy the dip as a trade. It was up 5% at that time. Now it's up 11%. So, I mean, I missed that opportunity. It could run even more here. Who knows? But I'm not going to FOMO into it. It's just entertaining watching. But be careful. Be very careful. Not saying it's a bad stock, bad investment. Of course, do your own research. But for me, whenever something, 3-4X's in a very short amount of time, especially after IPO, I'm cautious. I'm very cautious. And that's kind of where I'm at with this one. I'm sure you guys saw HIMS stock today. HIMS is down 34%. They ended, or not they, but Novo Nordisk ended their partnership with HIMS or their deal with HIMS. I guess HIMS was getting some, cheap ingredients of Wegovy Wegovy from China. That was bad. We're not going to get deep into that in this video, but that's kind of the story here, right? Their collaboration with Novo Nordisk has been terminated essentially, right? So HIMS stock's free falling, and this is exactly why I don't mess with these hypey, retail stocks anymore. And you might be like, Stas, you talk about Palantir a lot, Sofi. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess those are more popular in the retail community space, but in my opinion, I think HIMS is on another level in terms of hypey, meme stock. And it's not a bad company by any means, but it has these, nutty swings that I just don't, I tend to avoid stocks like these nowadays. I don't want any names in my portfolio that could go down 40% in a day. I mean, it's possible, but with any stock really, but man, this is rough. Things collapsing. But hey, I mean, with it being this, retail hypey name, it might rebound. That's the thing. That's why I'm watching it. HIMS is the ticker. It might rebound, and it could open up a nice trading opportunity. So what do you guys think? I'm going to wrap the video up here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And by the way, hit that like button, subscribe, join that free email stock newsletter, and check out my portfolio updates on Patreon, which I just posted one earlier today. Check out the links down below, guys. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.